Hey everyone, it's Janelle back with another video. So today I want to discuss the Aquarian Age and pop culture and the huge massive shift that is happening and will take place. Basically, we're in the Aquarian Age. It's been starting since the 1990s with Uranus, Neptune, all these other planets, outer planets going through Aquarius. Now we've got currently Pluto, another outer planet in Aquarius, heralding in the Aquarian Age. And I've been seeing all these videos online, people talking about, oh, music's not hitting like it used to, movies are not what they were, like no one's gathered thinking the same thing, appreciating the same thing, exchanging similar views. And I was there, I was like feeling nostalgic watching these videos and agreeing with them. So it finally dawned on me, Janelle, these are the beginnings of what it means to be in the Aquarian Age. People are going to be very niche, individualistic, authentic. They're going to have what they're into. It's going to be very hard to be widespread popular among people unless you are adhering to the Aquarian values. And even then, it might not be so easy. People are going to be off in their communities, in their niches, and they're going to care about more Aquarian values, so humanitarian values. They're going to care about being an individual, being authentic, being real, acquiring knowledge, not just the generic knowledge we've been told to collect or the intelligences we've been told to develop. They want to develop real knowledge. They are truth seekers. That is important. And I feel like it's going to be a shock and it's going to be disturbing to so many people. But it's like these people in these, positions of influencing like the wider population, they're aware of the Aquarian Age, but they didn't see it. The transition, there seems to be a fight for humanity to really know what's really going on and really become conscious of what has been hidden from them. And it looks like humanity is going to win. So it's like this is what these last couple of years have been about, trying to restrain knowledge and frequency and vibrational raising of the population. Now that doesn't seem to be taking place, so there's nothing that they can do. But I just want to point out quite quickly that the Aquarian Age has led to this change in, not we're not liking the same thing as everybody else anymore. We're in our niche bags, and it's very rarely that something comes across that's extremely popular that we're like, yeah, we all like that. That's going to be more and more prevalent. We're going to be very much into, what does this mean for me over here? How does this relate to me? How does this relate to humanity? How does this relate to progress, innovation? So these are the things that will be amongst our minds. So I just want you to keep that in mind as we go through this Aquarian Age. And if you're like me, wondering, being a bit nostalgic, wondering about, oh, certain things have not been the same since the 2000s, the 90s, the 2010s. This is why it's the Aquarian Age. And things are just, there's a massive shift, and our nervous systems are trying to get regulated with that on top of everything else that's happening. So we've got to be very cognizant of the time that we're living in, and we've also got to be very vigilant about the type of stuff we choose to consume, because the vibration is raising. We're no longer in the Piscean age of illusion and delusion, where, for example, the entertainment industry can be telling us this person's amazing and they write their own stuff or do whatever, and they don't really do that. Or they've got this much money and they don't really do that. Or they're for the people and they're not really for people. Like, they're not going to be able to get away with that in the Aquarian Age. You've got to be about people first. You've got to put good values first, and it's going to be important to stay integral. Aquarius does not care. Aquarius is the rebel. It's going to be itself. It's going to be true to itself. And it's going to, like, regardless of what you think, Aquarius is going to do what they want to do. They do not care. This is the Aquarian Age. And there are so many things that are going to change through culture. even down to like having children, because essentially the first house is going to move to essentially Aquarius in the Aquarian age. Like the fifth house of children, for example, is going to move to Gemini. So there might be more twins. There might not be as many children being born because Gemini is not necessarily known for children always, but it can be known for twins. So it depends. Um, that's something another astrologer talked about, and I was pondering and I understood where she was coming from. Also, like the second house is going to be Piscean. The way we make our money is going to be very much Piscean, very creative, very emotional, very spiritual, all the stuff where we make our own money, not where we work for somebody else. And talking about work, the sixth house would be Cancer. There's going to be a lot more people working from home. Like they've tried to get people back into offices, but that's not really where this is going. It's going to working at home in the Aquarian age. If you are working, it's likely you'll be working from home. Also, what the 10th house will be Scorpio. There's going to be secrets that come out, as we've seen the last couple of years, about major celebrities and like dodgy, shady people being exposed. If you are not an integral person, Scorpio will expose you in the 10th house. If you are on a public platform and you are not doing things in the best interest of the people and you're not a good human being, you will be exposed. Simple. No questions asked. No, let's think this over. That's just the facts of the situation. Also, what else of the house do I find interesting? The third house will be Aries. So, and like going back to even the fifth house for a moment, Uranus is currently in Gemini. So there's a lot of innovation, a lot of thinking. Education is going to change. The fifth house is education. Like is going to be likely more distant. I don't know if schools are going to exist in the way they are. Learning is going to change. Curriculums have to change to accommodate what's going on. And in fact, they're behind right now because look at AI and technology, how it's come in, and they did not prepare the generations for it, and it's taking over jobs, taking over this, taking over that. So they're behind in their curriculum change, their schooling and teaching. It's just not up to date. I also get a feeling that a lot more stuff will be online as well. So going back to the third house being Aries, Aries is the I'm the warrior. The third house is like your neighbors, your local community, your cousins, your extended family. It's to do with communication, social media. I feel like things will be a lot more localized in that sense with people. There'll be a more of a sense of how would you put it? A sense of pride, essentially, in their local communities. This is what I'm saying. People are going to break off into their communities. Aquarius is very, let's live in our communities in that we where we share similar values. People are going to value their local communities very much. And it doesn't just necessarily mean geographically how things are designed at the moment. People might move off and start their own thing and live together and have their own communities. Something that, again, another astrologer said that I can see happening in this time, because with the nonsense that the current systems are trying to put in place, I can see why people would be inclined to be like, let's break away from this nonsense and go do our own thing. The fourth house will be Taurus. We're gonna love our comforts at home. We're gonna just like, yes, 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 home, 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 yes, 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 my home, I'm not leaving. And also, you're gonna have the seventh house, which is Leo. So we're going to be drawn to partners who are likely more confident, more more outgoing, loyal partners, very partners who are very just effervescent, really, very Leonian. So that's something to look out for as well. Leo values loyalty. Leo will really stay with you, but Leo does like their attention. So even in this Aquarian age, the balance has to come with the attention might go to some Leos or like Leonian type partners, but the catch is they have to be aligned with more Aquarian values. There's a balance between the two because Aquarius is not going to prop you up just because. They want to see what you're really doing and contributing, what you really know, who you really truly are. So being authentic is going to be very important to them. The eighth house would be Virgo. So people are going to be, there's going to be a lot more, how do I put it? A lot more, I'm trying to put this in a way that is not so jarring, but there's going to be a lot more, well, it's a good thing, I suppose, a lot more information and knowledge around sex, the sacredness of sex, because Virgo is the virgin in the eighth house of sex. There's going to be a lot more information about like being just being informed about the actual purpose of sex, what it was created for, and a lot more safety in engaging in sex is going to definitely be pushed. Um, and we get to the ninth house, Libra. Our belief systems are very much going to be like fairness, justice, balance, harmony are paramount. That will be our belief systems. People like crimes and all this types of stuff that those who have cast lies over the whole population for years doing criminality, those days are gone. They're done. Like you will not be, it's not the Piscean age of illusion. If you are a criminal being unjust to the wider population, humanity, innocent people, all this stuff, you will be exposed. We're in the Aquarian age. Like as I talked about the 10th house, you're doing something publicly and it's in Scorpio, you will be exposed. So yeah, laws and beliefs are going to be important. So as much as technology is a lot more advanced than people think or understand, I feel like laws will come into place and catch up with like managing and policing essentially technology. It's not going to be able to be as wild and without feather as it wants to be because the ninth house is Libra. And it is about justice, fairness, and beliefs. Yes, technology will be around. It's the Aquarian age, but it will be managed. It will not overtake humanity. So take heart. And the 11th house would now be Sagittarius. So the 11th house is to do with hopes and dreams, what we know we want to come true, like where we get our rewards. The 11th house is just a place where we see the effort we've put forward or the blessings we have come to fruition. It's also to do with networks. It's the natural house of Aquarius, it's humanitarian, all these things. But also with having Sagittarius there, I feel like foreign travel is going to change. Like Sagittarius in the house of Aquarius, foreign travel might change. And I don't think it will be necessarily negative in the house of dreams, wishes, and like what you've earned. I think it could possibly be more um, international travel because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. It won't just be local travel anymore, but it'll be interesting to see because they know these things are coming, so they've tried to do various things to keep people from traveling or shut down certain areas or this and that or certain connections and like movements, but it's not going to be able to happen, not with Sagittarius in the 11th house where people collectively, it's because Aquarius is a collective sign, wanting to travel, wanting higher knowledge, wanting experiences, wanting to explore spirituality. These things are going to be important during the Aquarian age with having Sagittarius in that 11th house. It's going to be people's dreams, desires, and rewards to understand spirituality, to um, to really delve into those things, to higher knowledge, to higher education, really. And it doesn't necessarily mean traditional higher education. Remember, Aquarius is still the first house. So I really, it'll be interesting to see how institutions either change with the times or disappear with the change of times, with Aquarius being in the first house, with us being in Aquarian age. The 12th house is Capricorn, and Capricorn is about that structure, that discipline, that karma. Now, we just left the Piscean age. Obviously, the next age after Aquarius will be Capricorn. Now, what we know is in the 12th house is it can be self-undoing habits, the unconscious, because to me the subconscious is the 8th house and the consciousness is more 4th house. It's your roots. Um, so emotionally, even people are gonna be just heading back to the 4th house for a second to talk about emotions and feelings. People could be more patient, possibly more like taking their time with things, but when they eventually hit a point where they found that enough is enough, like a Taurus, they may just like horns up and come at you. You know what I'm saying? Because they've had enough, they've enjoyed enough. And Taurus is very stubborn and doesn't like to budge. So that could be another thing, stubbornness in the emotions as well. So that could be something that's also showing up. But back to the 12th house. So it is like, it's about sleeping, all these different things. It's about spirituality. It's also about travel as well, foreign movement, foreign moves, relocations, all these various different things. It's a very intricate house. It's about hidden enemies. It's about where things you try to you don't even know you're aware of. The 8th house is maybe where you hide them from yourselves, but the 12th house, you're not even aware of these unconscious things going on with you. So what will be happening in the next 2000 to 2,500 years will be a lot more structure will come to these things in our lives, our sleeping, our spirituality, what else, our unconscious, all these different things. A lot more structure and discipline will appear in these things. So yeah, I think that's everything for now. But if you have any questions, leave them down below. Any comments, let me know. But yeah, we're in the Aquarian age, baby. Get with it or get left behind. Till next time, bye.